In today's show, did the Bitcoin price just see a retail FOMO peak signal? According to this indicator, yes. In today's show, I'll be doing some Bitcoin technical analysis, and we'll be discussing what's likely the next big move for Bitcoin. Also in today's episode, half the world's largest companies will have Bitcoin on their balance sheet by the end of 2021, says Pierre Rochard. That's right. Kraken's Bitcoin strategist believes Bitcoin will see an explosion of corporate interest in 2021. He goes on to share, my boldest prediction is that if we take the S&P 500, the world's largest corporations, I think that by the end of 2021, more than half of them will have Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and it will be driven by simple economics, which is that issuing shares to buy Bitcoin causes your stock prices to go up by more than the dilution. I'll be breaking all this down for you in today's show. Also, breaking news. $51 billion global investments firm Jefferies is selling gold for Bitcoin. That's right, another one bites the dust. The firm with $51 billion in assets under management as of Q3 of 2020 says roughly $30 trillion is sitting in government bonds. Suppose 10% of that amount finds its way into gold and Bitcoin. That works out to an exodus of $3 trillion. And if that is split evenly, we'd end up with $1.5 trillion in gold, which is 15% of gold's market cap, and $1.5 trillion going into Bitcoin, which is 4.4 times its market cap right now, sitting at about $338 billion. I'll be breaking all this down for you in today's show. Also checking out the latest wisdom from Max Keiser. He tweeted, Bitcoin euthanizes financial regulators. It's humane, it's peaceful, but they're still dead. Let's remember this. New all-time high by Monday, $28,000 for 2020, still in play. And he also shared, I guarantee this, Mnuchin's next job will be at a Bitcoin exchange working as a lobbyist to block any stupid regulatory non-starters in DC. He'll be paid in Bitcoin. Also in today's show, we'll be taking a look at the overall crypto market. As you can see, the correction may be over. Bitcoin is back in the green. Most of the major altcoins back in the green. But where's the Bitcoin price likely to go from here? Find out all this, plus so much more in today's show. Here at Crypto News Alerts, I drop a brand new episode every single day, so be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right, and turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, just like this. And before I kick off today's show, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description. All right, welcome back to another episode of Crypto News Alerts. I'm your host, JV. Lots of bullishness to dive right into, so let's not waste any time. The Bitcoin futures funding rate on Binance Futures overtook Deribit on December 18th, according to data from Crypto Quant. Now, historically, when this has happened, the dominant crypto saw a local top or consolidation. Now, the funding rate for major cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin and Ethereum, rose considerably in the past 48 hours. This typically indicates that the futures market is overheating, which raises the probability of a pullback. As you can see right here on your screen, Binance funding versus Deribit funding coming from Crypto Quant. Now for the million-dollar question, what's next for the king of all crypto? Bitcoin has already seen relatively minor pullbacks and some consolidation after its recent rally. Within 2 days from December 16th to the 17th, the price of Bitcoin rose from 19,300 to as high as 23,800 on Binance. So following a 23% price spike, a 3 to 4% correction is relatively small compared to historical corrections after a major rally, which are typically 20 to 30%. Now, a Bitcoin pullback was bound to happen as the futures funding rate surpassed 0.1% on December 18th across major exchanges. The Bitcoin futures market uses a system called funding to find balance in the market. If there are more long contracts in the market, the funding rate becomes positive. If so, buyers or long contract holders have to pay short sellers and vice versa. On December 18th, the funding rate surpassed 0.1% on Bybit as well as other leading exchanges for the first time since the November rally to 19,000. At the time, after the futures market got overheated, Bitcoin saw a significant pullback to $16,000. Now, a 20 to 30% pullback was likely at the time because the funding rate consistently remained high. This time around, the funding rate has cooled down comparably fast. As such, the chances of a consolidation rather than a correction are higher, particularly as new retail investors still remain largely on the sidelines. Other data shows a pseudonymous crypto trader pinpointed that the Binance futures funding rate overtook Deribit. Although this data does not have specific relevance, historical trends show that when this happens, Bitcoin tends to pull back. The trader shared the following on crypto Twitter. Looks like most of the time, Binance funding overtakes Deribit exchange funding. We get a sideways move or a local top, and he continues, it could be a retail FOMO peak signal. Let me know if you agree or disagree with this trader. One reason behind this trend could be the significance of Binance futures as a way to gauge the overall market sentiment. When the price of Bitcoin sees a large price movement, Binance futures often sees large liquidations because of its high open interest. Binance futures consistently remains one of the top 3 futures exchanges by open interest alongside CME and OKEX. Hence, when Binance futures begins to show signs of overheating momentum, the market can turn cautious in the near term. Now, the near term roadblock is currently at $23,350. So that's the roadblock you want to keep your eyes out on. Technical analyst Cantor and Clark said that if Bitcoin surpasses $23,350, an uptrend would likely ensue. He shared the following on crypto Twitter. Yesterday's entire structure spent almost all of its time within prior day value. The prior day was balanced towards the tail end of the day, looking very clean so far. Good inside day break opportunity, setting up if we clear 23,350, play the range until the change. Bitcoin. So there you have it. All right. And before I break down our next story of the day, half the world's largest companies will have Bitcoin on their balance sheet by the end of 2021, says Kraken's Pierre Rochard. And before I break this down, let's first take a look at the overall crypto market. We can see Bitcoin hovering just above that $23,000 support. This is definitely a good indicator for Bitcoin as we started correcting over the past 48 hours, but Bitcoin returned right back to that 23K support, which is looking pretty solid and strong as the momentum has gained back for the bulls. As you can see, we're in the green for all the major altcoins right now, including Ethereum up 1.3%, trading at $658. XRP up 0.37%, trading at 58.5 cents. Miss Litecoin, which has been surging like a mofo as of recent, up 3.7%, now trading at $112. We had BNB, which is Binance Coin, up 8.5%, trading at $33.24, and Chainlink up 2.5%, trading just below $14. All right, now let's break down our next story of the day, shall we? Kraken's Bitcoin strategist Pierre Rochard believes Bitcoin will see an explosion of corporate interest in 2021. In Kraken's 2021 market outlook presentation, the crypto influencer predicts 50% of the top 500 companies in the world will hold Bitcoin in their portfolios by the start of 2022. Now, could you imagine how massive this would be for the Bitcoin price if half the top 500 companies in the world started holding Bitcoin on their balance sheets? This would be a pretty big deal. He goes on to share, my boldest prediction is that if we take the S&P 500, the world's largest corporations, I think that by the end of 2021, more than half of them will have Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And I think that will be driven by simple economics, which is that issuing shares to buy Bitcoin causes your stock prices to go up more than the dilution. And so, because that this is the case, we have market data showing this. We're going to see a huge amount of corporate adoption of Bitcoin. And we'll even see like what MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor is doing, corporations issuing large quantities of bonds, fixed income instruments, whether they're convertible or whatever, in order to just bulk buy Bitcoin. Rochard's prediction has perhaps already started to play out in 2020 with business intelligence firm MicroStrategy's seemingly endless quest to acquire Bitcoin, as well as payments giant Square's colossal Bitcoin purchase this past October. Let's not also forget the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, which now has $15 billion in total assets under management. We also have PayPal purchasing more Bitcoin, which is currently being mined. So we have massive institutional demand right now. And in a new interview with Real Vision, the Bitcoin strategist elaborates on his outlook and says he foresees a future in which people begin to refuse fiat payments in deference to Bitcoin. He goes on to share, so the way the sound money drives out bad money is what's called There's Law. And There's Law is actually the inverse of Gresham's Law. And There's Law, really the practical implication of it is that eventually the recipient of the payment, not the sender, the recipient of it is going to refuse fiat. They're going to say, I don't want USD, I want Bitcoin, because if you give me USD, I know that it's going to lose its value very quickly, and so I want you to pay me in Bitcoin. And so really, it doesn't actually matter whether the sender is sending them USD or Bitcoin. And as it becomes a standard for companies like MicroStrategy to convert their US dollar earnings into Bitcoin, says Rochard, there will be wider industry adoption of the top crypto asset to the extent that it will become a legitimate form of payment. He goes on to share, and so I think that as more and more companies join the Bitcoin standard and start using Bitcoin as their treasury reserve asset, then they will want to get paid in Bitcoin so that they could avoid transaction costs of having to convert US dollars into Bitcoin. And so really, this is why people say we have a store value adoption before a medium of exchange adoption. So there you have it. Let me know if you agree or disagree in the comments right down below. And before I break down our next story of the day, breaking news, $51 billion global investment firm Jefferies is selling gold for Bitcoin. But first, let's take a look at the overall crypto market cap, sitting at $655 billion with $155 billion in volume in the past 24 hours. And current Bitcoin dominance is 65.1% according to CoinMarketCap. And now checking out the top gainers within the top 100, we have Aave up almost 11%, trading at $94.40. Near Protocol up almost 10%, trading at $1.11. We have Verge up 7%, trading at 0.007. We have Swiss Borg up 9%, trading at 19 cents. And Decentraland up almost 6%, trading at 9.2 cents. And now checking out the biggest losers within the top 100, we have Elron down 2%, trading at 26 bucks. We have Satoshi Vision down 0.73%, trading at $178, and Celo down 1%, trading at $1.65. So as you can see, most of the major cryptos are currently in the green, as there's not that many in the red. Which altcoins are you currently the most bullish on? Let me know in the comments right down below. Now checking out the Binance margins, we can see the bears are in control, leading with 50.7% shorts versus 49.2% longs. Are you currently bullish or bearish on the king of all crypto? Holla at your boy. And now checking out one of my favorite indicators is the Crypto Greed and Fear Index. Shows we're currently rated a 93 in extreme greed. Yesterday was a 95, last week a 90, and last month a 94, all of which is within extreme greed. Now, if you're not familiar with the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, extreme fear can be a sign investors are too worried. That can be a great buying opportunity, aka BTFD, buy that freaking dip. And when investors are getting too greedy, like we're witnessing in the market right now, that means the market is due for a correction. All right, now let's check out the latest wisdom from Max Keiser. He recently tweeted, Bitcoin euthanizes financial regulators. It's humane, it's peaceful, but they're still dead. Let's remember this. New all-time high by Monday, $28,000 per Bitcoin for 2020, still in play. That's right. Let me know if you agree and if you feel Bitcoin can climb to $28,000 before we end out this year and put a bow on 2020. There's still 2 weeks left to go. We're currently sitting at about $23,000. So it ultimately means we'll rise another $5,000 within the next couple of weeks. Max Keiser has been predicting this for a very long time. He says before any significant pullbacks, let's expect $28,000 per Bitcoin in play for 2020. So there you have it. He also recently shared, I guarantee this, Mnuchin's next job will be at a Bitcoin exchange working as a lobbyist to block any stupid regulatory non-starters in DC. He'll be paid in Bitcoin. Touche. You gotta love it. Much respect and shout out to Max Keiser and Stacy Herbert of the Keiser Report. And before I break down our next story of the day, breaking news, $51 billion global investment firm Jefferies is selling their gold for Bitcoin. But first, I want to remind you to smash that show more button right below this video for a detailed analysis of what's going on in the market. This goes for all 630 plus videos right here on my YouTube channel. Also, some very helpful resources for you to plug into, including the blog to my podcast, which could be found at cryptonewsyes.com. Also, be sure to smash that subscribe button to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including weekends just like this. It also supports the channel, and I greatly appreciate your continued support. You can also follow us on all the major podcasting platforms, from Spotify, the home of the Joe Rogan Experience, to Apple's iTunes. You can also follow me on Twitter to receive daily crypto news alerts. My Twitter handle is Crypto News Yes. And for those of you active on Facebook, I do have a private crypto Facebook group entitled Crypto Alchemy. To join it, click this link, request to join. I'll be sure to plug you in. And for those of you active on Telegram, I do have a private crypto Telegram chat, which is uncensored. To join it, click this link. You'll automatically be added, and I'm looking forward to connecting with you personally on the inside. All right, now let's break down our final story of the day. A top executive at Jefferies says the billion-dollar investment firm is cutting some gold from its portfolio in favor of Bitcoin. Another one bites the dust. Let's go. As Bitcoin continues to consolidate above the $20,000 range, the global head of equity strategies at Jefferies, Christopher Wood, said the company is purchasing the top cryptocurrency at the expense of the precious metal. The firm, with $51 billion in assets under management as of Q3 of 2020, is converting some of its gold holdings in its long-only global portfolio for US dollar-denominated pension funds, which was created in 2002. According to Business Standard, Wood says he plans to increase exposure to cryptocurrency in this portfolio if the market sees a correction after its recent pump. He goes on to share the 50% weight in physical gold bullion in the portfolio will be reduced reduced for the first time in several years by 5 percentage points with the money invested into Bitcoin. If there is a big drawdown in Bitcoin from the current level after the historic breakout above the $20,000 level, the intention will be to add to this position. So that's right. Even if Bitcoin takes a dip, they're going to buy the dip because that's what Bitcoiners do. That's what smart money does, right? BTFD all day, buy that freaking dip. The allocation in this particular fund is 45% in physical gold bullion, 30% in Asia ex-Japan equities, weighted according to the long-only thematic portfolio, 20% in unhedged gold mining stocks, and 5% into the king of all crypto. Wood notes that he is still bullish on gold as he believes central banks will continue to adopt loose monetary policies. Meanwhile, Weiss ratings analysts Juan Villaverde and Bruce NG suggest that Bitcoin could have a much larger upside if other companies like Jefferies begin to favor these asset classes equally over bonds as a hedge against inflation and economic turbulence. He goes on to share roughly $30 trillion is sitting in government bonds. Suppose 10% of that amount finds its way into gold and Bitcoin. That works out to be an exodus of $3 trillion. And if that is split evenly, we'd end up with $1.5 trillion going into gold, which is 15% of gold's market cap, which is currently sitting at about $10 trillion, and $1.5 trillion going into Bitcoin, which is 4.4 times its market cap, which is now sitting at about $338 billion. So due to Bitcoin's much lower market cap and trading volume, it has the potential to rise far faster than gold. I agree 100% as the new money from delusioned bond investors pours in. So there you have it. And now for a quick recap of what I covered with you right here in today's show. Did Bitcoin price just see a retail FOMO peak signal? Well, according to this indicator, yes, as I shared with you this Bitcoin technical analysis, the next big near-term roadblock is currently sitting at $23,350. So that's the level we want to keep our eyes out on. Also in today's show, I shared that half the world's largest companies will have Bitcoin on their balance sheet by the end of 2021, says Kraken's Pierre Rochard. Also in today's episode, I shared the latest wisdom from Max Keiser, who says Bitcoin euthanizes financial regulators. It's humane, it's peaceful, but they're still dead. Let's remember this. New all-time high by Monday, $28,000 per Bitcoin for 2020, still in play. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Max Keiser's $28,000 per Bitcoin price prediction before the end of this year. I also shared some more wisdom from Max Keiser regarding Mnuchin. Kaiser says he guarantees his next job will be at a Bitcoin exchange, working as a lobbyist to block any stupid regulatory non-starters in DC, and that he'll be paid in Bitcoin. Also in today's show, I shared breaking news. $51 billion global investment firm Jefferies is selling their gold for Bitcoin. So where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go from here? Drop me a comment right down below. Well, that's going to conclude today's show. As always, I appreciate you tuning in and journeying along with me inside this incredible crypto matrix. If you gain value out of today's show, be sure to smash that subscribe button. That's right. And turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, including weekends, just like this. And in the meantime, let's sit back, relax, grab yourself a crypto cocktail, and let's watch this Bitcoin price go straight to the moon. And real quick before I go, if interested in tapping into OPM, leveraging other people's money to grow your wealth and crypto portfolio, then smash that link right below the video in the description and register for this free system. You'll be glad you did, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's episode. Peace.